Hello and welcome to another edition of Block Punks with the Cryptowriters, with me, Gillian Gottsel, where we interrogate some of the most interesting, insightful and amazing people in this space. So I'm delighted to introduce today to the show Yoshi. And Yoshi is known to people by his Twitter, which is YK Sanjo. So Yoshi, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today.
So you're a bit of a man of mystery, we've decided. We're not going to say your real name or who you are, just Yoshi is enough. And on your Twitter handle, it says, New York City, music, family, life lover, tokenization, and anti-gas fees. I think you'll get a lot of support on that one. So tell me, Yoshi, you're a musician. What instruments do you play? Do you sing? And tell me a bit about your career.
Sure, sounds great. Well, my main instrument is piano, and I can't tell you that I'm really good at as much as any other instrument. I cannot sing, but I spend almost 20 years recording people and mixing in a studio environment. So I can say that I know how to get around to make sound good. So
you have worked with...
I've been producing for a long time, so
yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm saying you have worked with some really famous people, I think.
Yes, famous people are great, but I really do love working with people who are about to be famous, or they know they are really talented and they've been doing their work and they are about to get be a successful situation. So I do like working with people that not yet to be famous, but yes, I've done work with a bunch of people, but mainly recording or just A&Ring, which is like artists and repertoire. Simplest way to explain that is just somebody who finds talent and usher them into the industry or label music business situation. But yeah, those types of situations. But I always love producing and working with artists. Yes, in a studio. So.
And all in New York, mostly in New York.
Yes, mostly in New York. I'm from this small Japanese town named Tokushima, and in Japanese towns, like there's no way that you can be like, hey, I'm a producer, and it's only like maybe like 5 people can do that. Like you're not in the US too, like you're in Europe. So
yeah,
same thing goes as well. Like you don't usually be a producer and like make a living. So a lot of artists, creative people in general, they have their passion, but they also have their 9 to 5. Well, I'm same way. I do have a 9 to 5, and fortunately, it's in the music industry. So what I like to do in that space also does pay me. So it's not like I have like accountant job and and they're waiting to get off work to play music.
Yeah, you're not,
yeah,
not
exactly.
waiting.
But
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of musicians that do our bartending and whatever they got to do to make an ends meet. So
yeah. And are you allowed to mention any of the big names that you work with? Are they top
yeah,
secret?
sure. Like in the studio, no. a lot of hip hop people, like like Jay-Z and those people, like one of the, like bunch of rappers, Ludacris, Nas, and U2 in certain way, like not directly recording, but people who's involved in Adele's production and the type of stuff. I'm around, and
Yeah.
I've been in New York, so I've only done music. So, but for me, it's not about the name of a people or like how big of a company I work with or done business with, but I'm always about fan of music, and I really like to be involved whatever I can in that whole creative process. That's what I really appreciate, because I'm not from United States or English speaking countries, and I was fortunate enough to have enough people help me along the way. People who told me English, or people who told me the way the culture works, or people who usher me into the studios, or people who helped me get into corporate in the music industry, or yes, yeah, popular people, famous people, it's great, but I really do love the process and the ride of the whole, me with the music, because I was not, I'm from small town, so it's not like this always has been my dream, but I always thought that I might never be, I'm surprised that I have, I came this far in a way, but it's not like, I'm a greatest person, or achieved a lot of things. I'm on the way, I think, to do a lot of paying back, I guess. It's not like I made a lot of money yet, but I want to get back to who, or space or business, or people who helped me.
Yeah.
So
you
so I'm
no, that's so
grateful.
cool. I mean, and you're very modest, because I know that Michael Blue speaks so highly of you, and I've listened to some of your tracks. What the music you produce is beautiful, and you are a very
Thank you.
successful and modest man. So thank you for that. So I want to ask you now: when did you first get into blockchain and cryptocurrencies? When did that come to your notice?
Okay, so first time I think I heard about Bitcoin and blockchain was 2013, 2014. I think it was early on. But to be honest, I never bought any of it or got involved, because I'm a type of person who is like, if I'm not into it, I'm not into it at all. And almost like money part is not really my interest, like now. But back then, like now I'm more money conscious, because I have family, and I have to I got to think about the finance thing first, obviously. But back in, like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, I'm I moved to New York City. It was like one duffel bag. It was like handful of money. It was just because I wanted to be in the music and to be a studio. And so I was that type of person, kind of like wild, naive in a way, right? But so when I first heard about Bitcoin, I'm a technical person, so I understood it, but I never like, hey, I'm gonna buy this. Or so first I'm really got involved is just actually recently, February, January, end of January, February this year. So friend of mine from Japan told me about Street Fighter NFT card from coming out from Wax.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of a little funny way to get into it, but you know, I'm in the mid-30s, so I spend a lot of times playing,
Oh,
Street
you
Fighter
played
game when
those
I was a
games.
kid, and
Okay, so you got it.
yeah, of
I
course,
mean, yeah.
definitely.
Okay, yes,
Yes.
yeah.
So, and a friend of mine who's Japanese as well, and he was like, "Hey, this is so exciting, and no one know about this and NFT." And I'm like, "What the hell is this whole NFT thing?" And I started reading up about it, and and so I really wanted to play it, right? Not just about like, "Hey, I'm gonna make tons of money." I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm like, "Hey, this is great. I buy digital asset that it's actually I own it," and I get that part right away, because it's I know about technical stuff. So I bought like a couple $1,000 worth of Street Fighter, and just by playing, and I realized like, oh, holy shit, I just made like $3,000-4,000 in like 1 week. What's going on, right?
Yeah.
So then after that, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, this is blockchain, and then wait a minute, this is like Bitcoin thing, and then wait a minute, this is crazy, and then wait a minute, this is what people talking about, pay to play thing, and I got it right away, and
Yeah.
I just became like just like the music, I became like an instant fan, and I also started making a connection about tokenization, and what that would have a great, you know, effect in my industry and the whole art community, and maybe, you know, in the future might be like changed in a good way with NFT. And I get the whole picture, and I just became like a
A
you know, I don't know
convert.
the words.
A convert.
Yeah,
You became a convert.
yeah, exactly.
You were
And
hooked in,
you know,
hook, line, and sinker.
yeah, so I got sucked into it, right? And one day I was on Telegram and asking just random people, because it's like some of the group of Telegram and Wax blockchain have like thousands of people, and I was asking everybody. It was like, hey, like I'm in the music space and I want to like help musicians and artists, like how to be able to cross over to NFT space. And then people like, hey, someone a developer, and they're like, hey, you need to meet Michael Blue. And I was like, who's M Blue, right?
You didn't know
And
you're gonna it's gonna change your
you know,
life.
yeah, exactly. I just, you know, I didn't know what's gonna happen. It's so funny, but yeah. So and then I just telegram him his handle, like, hey, M Blue, you know, crypto. They're like, hey, what's up? How are you? Like, who are you? Like, somebody told me to contact you, and I'm such and such. And he's like, who the hell is this guy? Right, from the internet, out of nowhere. But you know, I'm not I'm never is like a schemer or like trying to get something out of. I just want the stuff that I want, right? I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
I want to do this, like, so, and just waiting for somebody to be like, hey, listen to me seriously. So, M Blue is, you know, he was very um kind and very accepting, and you know, gave me chance to just somebody that you don't even know at all, right? Out of the internet. So it's like, you know,
I think that
it's
is the
it's it's you
mark.
know,
I think that's the mark of a gentleman, because we all help our friends and our family, which is good and as it should be. But I think a gentleman or a gentlewoman, to you, a gentle person, they help people outside the circle of friends. Isn't that what and I said it's the old fashioned term gentleman. I don't mean as in whatever, but
no,
it's like,
I know,
yeah,
understanding, right? They're like
yeah,
they'll put the trust on you
yes,
just because they can. They just
yeah,
because they have the space in their mind,
yeah,
or you know, a willingness to do that. You know, I
yeah,
think that's one of the most important quality as a human, you know.
yeah,
You know, you can be rich without it at all, you know, if you just worry about the finance and like how powerful you can be or you want to be. You don't have to be that type of person at all to get there. But I think at the end of the day, if you are talking about human, like if you talk about a person, right, that who's like human being, like just that as like if you have to have a certain quality to understand what other people is as equal as you. It's just because some people just don't have that quality, you
no.
know. So yeah, and
I,
I'm grateful, you
I
know.
don't know. I love what you're saying here too as well. Do you know why this is so cool? Because um this mad world we're in at the moment, we were saying before we started recording, it's mad, but it's not about the money. It is so not
Yeah,
about, now there's money there. There is an opportunity to make a living and a revenue and an income, but it's so not about the money, isn't it? It's so about the
no,
collaboration, the creation, the coming together, the excitement, the ideas, and yes, I think there will be money, but it's not about the money. It's so hard to people who aren't in the space. This is not about the money. It's about being creative and collaborating and having fun.
yeah, and it's like we all know, right? This space is so brand new. Like it's so much to need to be done and so much challenge to come. So it's like we know what need to be done. Like you do, he does. You know, anyone who like even like artists who just know how to draw, like even they know their mission. We all have like the mission here, you know. And
Yeah.
I think whoever can take that as a serious as an initiative to be like, hey man, I'm doing something important, like bigger than money here, you know. And I think I'm happy, like really happy to see so many like of you, like so many of us are like in this specific space. Like I love that, incredible. Like, you know, I go to, like, if you go to Ethereum group or Bitcoin group, or it's all about the pump and dump people, like, no one's like this. You know, people in the wax, the only people like don't really care about how much is the one wax P right now, right? And more worry about, hey, we gotta like build this thing in the metaverse, or like, hey, we have to, you know, buy this NFT because these artists need the support. And, you know, from like the most intelligent people to like not so intelligent people like me, like who just know how to like play in the game. Like you know,
You're
we all love
gifted
this
man.
space. Like,
Yeah, no. So we're in this space. We're talking about collaboration, passion, love, helping each other. Tell me about YoshiDrops. I mean, it's named for you. It's inspired by you, and it's going to do amazing good. So, what is YoshiDrops?
so YoshiDrop is an attempt to emerge arts and music in wax space or NFT space. And while we do that, we're gonna help the environment. So Blue said it's a win-win-win situation. It is total win-win-win situation. And hoping that I'm a one person, and this project is just one project. And you know, there's a lot of brilliant people are involved in the technical side, and a lot of amazing artists involved in the creative side. But we're just one thing. So I can't change the world tomorrow, but I'm hoping that this project and what we do together can be a conversation starter to how artists in general need to pay attention to this space, and tech people and people who has money or who's willing to participate in the future of a good. We want the platform that all people can come together and, you know, do something together.
So the mechanics are going to be that people are going to subscribe to YoshiDrops. They're going to get a monthly drop. And in that monthly drop, there's going to be music and artists combined. Am I right in saying
Yes,
that's going to
correct.
work?
Yes,
And
yes,
the,
exactly.
the idea is that the artist, the musician and the artist collaborate together, come together with a piece of music. Both and in terms of the people working, the artist and the musician, they get the mint number one, and the other 99 mints go into the pot, if you like, and then those are going to be sold off to raise money for philanthropic work in Haiti, which Blue does with the Uplift Nation, now Uplift Art and Uplift World. And also at the same time, you're going to plant trees. The ambition is to plant
Yes.
1 million trees in a very short period of time.
Yes. Well, the 50% of that 99 pieces proceeds is gonna go to the carbon neutral projects. And, you know, right now we're saying, you know, let's plant a tree because it's simple and, you know, people can see it. And then we're gonna have a little graph or power thing saying, hey, we planted this much in the back of the card and stuff like that. And, you know, and the Haiti project. And so, yeah. And so that's how we envision to do it.
So if people want to get involved, where do they go?
Okay, so if you're a visual artist, you can go to YoshiDrops, and if you don't have music, you can go through my music selection, and then you can pair it with your art and submit at yoshidrops.com. But if you have music for it and if you have art for it, you can always submit at YoshiDrops. Or if you're a musician, you can also be part of it by submitting your music the same way. You can submit it with the art, or you can go through my music. And if you're a rapper or singer, you can sing over it or use my track however you want and submit it the same way. And I also have this little folder called NFT sounds, which has like a shorter sound where more not complete composition, but smaller sound effects and some sort of stuff like that. For au pair, it goes great with arts. So and a painting. So if you can't find any music to go with it, you can go through those music. It's free to use. If you decide to participate, you can always participate with YoshiDrops. But those are, you know, I put it there for anyone to be able to use it.
It's exciting. And I think I need to stress, don't I, that it's like American Idol meets NFT jungle. So it's not an open mic per se. There will be a curation element. And then the people who subscribe to the collections, when they get the drops every month, so it'll be curated content as opposed to, whoa, what's happening here? So it's
Oh
kind of
yeah,
cool.
yes. I think near future when more technical side can be sold out, I want anyone and everybody to be able to submit it and somehow it will be able to showcase it. But for now, M Blue and I gonna listen to every submission and look at all the art that gets submitted, and hopefully we can do some sort of broadcast or stream or something so that people can see what the process is or how many people are being submitted. But I'm very, you know, excited that I see a lot of big names replying to our well, you as well, right? You have
Well, I'm not a
art
big
and
name.
the
I'm a little
music goes
name.
together, and thank you so much. But you know, in Wax Chain, we're all family, and I see a lot of people, you know, interested in some bunch of people DM me, bunch of people, you know, already emailing the list. So yes,
It's exciting. Do
let's
you know
do
what
this
I love?
together.
Yeah, you've just outed me there. Yes, I have submitted some art, but it's so joyous. I'm like going, this is fun, and it's, you know, and it's lovely to be part of something, because I think sometimes when you are like, I'm only a fledgling artist. I'm a long time writer, but a fledgling artist, and it's so scary out there. And it's
You're
like,
great.
to be part of something, to kind of get in, it's like, oh, this is lovely, because there's that big huge sort of warm hug. We're not getting much hugs in lockdown anyway, but the warm hug feeling is very exciting. It's like, whoa, I
Oh
love
yeah,
that.
no, I know.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah, I somebody who record artists all the time, I can say that it's like it's like a nerve-wracking to like show your talent, like show your art or your you know your music to like people, even like how big, don't no matter how famous or popular or known you are, it's just putting out there, it just takes so much, like, you
It's
know.
scary.
So
It's
I'm
scary.
so happy to be a part of this, so you know, to make any easier for everybody.
When will it all kick off, do you think? Do we have dates or projected dates? As in the
Oh yes,
drops?
alpha drop, like I think we're gonna do first drop on May 27th, which
May
is on
27th.
my birthday.
Ah, yes, actually, I did know that. Sorry.
This
Happy
will be like
birthday
the
in
alpha,
advance.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you. It will be like the alpha drop where we're gonna see how many people are interested by putting out like a pre-subscription thing, the who like early access type of thing, just to see how many will participate for that first drop. But the actual digital vinyls and the subscription drops gonna happen sometimes end of the June.
Oh, and
That's
I
when
should,
I
you
was
thank you
wanting to
for
start.
mentioning that word, digital vinyl. It's a new word that you guys are coining, digital vinyl, which is cool, which is like a really, I don't think I've heard it before. I think it was invented in this space with the YoshiDrop space.
Yes,
Yeah. That's so
thousand
cool.
percent.
Yeah. Wow. Well, looking forward then, this will be going out before then, but the 27th of May, it's Watch This Space.
Thank you. Yes.
And if people want to find you again, they go to your Twitter. So it's Yoshi at YK Sanjo, Sanjo. And
Yes, please.
and also the YoshiDrops.com site as well, to go and submit their stuff and find out about signing up. So very exciting. Thank you very much for your time, Yoshi.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you for having me.